Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he will finally be taken down at the Jets' 15. 73 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs. Touchdown, Texans. Josh Jacobs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Texans go nearly the length of the field and finish it off with 6 points. Well, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but his top 2 options were not available on that throw, so he went the safe route. Worked out pretty well.
It was like you were in the pocket. How about you going through the progressions like that? What a lot of offenses say, touchdown to check down. Look downfield first, bring it back to the line of scrimmage. Not easy for a rookie to do. Oftentimes they get one look, and they make their decision off of that. He went through 3. That was impressive.
Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now back to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Hard throw, incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things. Get back to what works.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return, and the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They currently sit one game over 500 thanks to their victory a week ago. Now, Charles, they've been really an up-and-down team all year. Do you think that they have enough to get into the playoffs?
Well, you did mention they've been up and down all year, so to me, it depends on what week you catch them. When they're at their best, I think they're definitely playoff worthy. But to me, they haven't been able to bring the intensity week in and week out, and that could be their Achilles heel.
Texans football to start quarter 2. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Here's Wilkins. Rolling to it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Well, you just knew that these rushers were eager to do that today. Put him on the ground. Their plan, introduce themselves individually to this rookie quarterback. They set a load a big way there with a loss of double-digit yards on that sack.
3rd and long for Wilkins. He finds his man complete. It's Jacobs. So a good spin move, but not a whole lot to show after as he's taken down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Second down, Jacobs once more. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Going play action, Wilkins. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. Room here to run. Look at this. Middle of the field. A breakaway. Touchdown, Houston. Josh Jacobs with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns.
Sometimes running plays hit or break so fast, there's no reaction time from the secondary. So I've got to give credit to the offensive line for creating that hole so suddenly. And how decisive was he to take that cut and just go? No one downfield there to stop him.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another second down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays second down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
They run it with Hall off the option. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with it. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
Ready. Watch out now. 50 series. Drill 52.
They'll give to Hall. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. They'll set up to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Texans are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
60-60.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Wilkins. He's going to air one out. And that's caught inside the 30. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilkins. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. And a stoppage here. We're going to need to take a moment as a Jet was shaken up on that one. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium.
Let's go.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here. A chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Wilkins. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Here we go. Here we go. Blue strike.
They'll throw now on the final play. Open man is Edwards. He's got it. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3 alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the 3rd quarter. No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be license to take some shots downfield.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Wilkins on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 172 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Hawk 70, 19 right. 19 tight, 19 tight. Warrior 70, Dragon 60, 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger. 18 Rebel, 18 Rebel.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilkins. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Marquise Bell. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 41.
Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football. The problem is you've got to stay aggressive as well. So where's the line between being aggressive and attacking and being overly aggressive? I think they just crossed it on that one.
2nd and 6. Goes right back to McBride. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. The start for them near flawless. Defense gets them a 3 and out. 2 quick pass connections on offense.
So that's how a team works together. Just what you described. Get them the ball, give them a little momentum, and they're capitalizing off of that. Thanks a lot, guys.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Able to get this one to McBride. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide, because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
He finds his man, complete. That's McBride.
And he is going to have a Jets first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Back to throw again.
On the out route, he completes it to Hall.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit.
Touchdown! Denzel Mims. 26 yards.
And the Jets are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And that'll cut the lead to 17. kick team out now to boot this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. Tackle on that play by Quinnen Williams.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up the touchdown.
Second down, Jacobs once more. 183 yards rushing for him now in the afternoon as he continues to put a hurt on this defense.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs.
Takes it to about the 37.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilkins.
To swing that out wide to Jacobs.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded just in. Now a hit and a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field. Well, this is intercepted. They get Ritter for the 3rd time.
Picked by Trayvon Mullen.
And the Texans are going to take over here up near the 40.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
and probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and it's shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Boy, 192 yards on the ground for him so far.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this 3rd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's got some space here. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That is caught by Mims. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Another big gain or 2 in succession as this one goes for 32. The previous play big on the ground. That one big through the air. Things have jumped up quickly.
Certainly appears that whatever their thought process is on the defensive side of the ball, they're one play behind. You know, loaded up for the pass, they hit them with the run. Load up for the run, they hit them with the pass. They've got to get in sync.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Come on.
The offense on third down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Hall. And they stop him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. It doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse.
8 ounces. 8 ounces is good.
All right, just checking.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
18 Cardinals.
Now Wilkins. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and he did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return, and the Jets will take over 1st and 10.
Here we go.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Option play, here's Hall. Down at the 25.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
And cycle.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Mims. And they'll get this down to the 10. He has a 1st down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. He'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win.
Ready?
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. And quickly, we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
60 boxes, 60 boxes.
Second down, Jacobs once more.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down. Now a give to Jacobs running right. And he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. They're inching closer and closer here to the wrong goal line.
When you're backed up like that, all you're trying to do is make sure you don't give up a big play, right? You don't miss an assignment that really gets you into more trouble.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away.
It's fielded at the 45. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, but a net of 32. They had a 10-yard return, and the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10.
Ready, ready.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
This is taken in by McBride.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And his kick is good. A touchdown at 17-10.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And it was a bit of a strange game. They were held scoreless through the entire second half, but their first half output, that's enough to carry them to victory.
And that's an odd game to watch, isn't it? Because when we saw the output in the first half, you think to yourself, okay, they've got something working here. They know what they're doing. They'll continue that along. But instead, it's goose eggs in the second half. Fortunately, enough of a cushion and enough defense to carry them home.
So for the Texans, it's an important win in terms of staying in the postseason race as they move to 6-4. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. with Charles Davis. As always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. To throw right away is Vick. Finding Johnson on the out route. That's complete. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy, let him pick up the first down.
So first and 10 now from the 30. From the gun, Vick. That's caught by the Hall of Famer Casper. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Play action now, Vick. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest with a guy with that type of speed. You do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. Vick readies to throw. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Here's James. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It was Cam Chancellor that time, the big hitting safety, who fired in there to blow that play up.
I tell you, he brings the wood when he comes flying up in run support. He may be a safety, but he hits like a linebacker.
On 2nd and 12, Vick. Over the middle, complete. It's Johnson. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
James. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Defensively, the tackle by Cam Chancellor. That's a strong safety making a strong, hard tackle.
And we know his coach. Doesn't smile a whole lot, does he? How about that grin right there, ear to ear after that play?
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Vic on 2nd down. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. Vic now. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
An early message that this secondary is going to be tested because even though it fell incomplete, it almost felt like a warning shot to get things going.
Come on.
Vic to throw on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's kind of a double whammy. I mean, the interception on the opening drive, that's one thing, but to give him this field position, that's another.
Absolutely perfect start for this defense. They take the ball away on the opening possession. They know that their offense will get the ball to start the second half. They line them up in field goal position, and to me, they got a chance for a touchdown right here out of the gate.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff inside. It's Peyton. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A good comeback there after the penalty. 9 yards, and it's 2nd and 6. Pretty effective run there. Now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Peyton going to get it again on 2nd. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. No score after 1 on EA Sports.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. He'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a sharp throw right there on 3rd down. They're looking to get the first points of the game, and they certainly don't want it to be on a field goal. So that's a nice job to get the hook up and set up a 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. Touchdown! Walter Payton from 3 yards out. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result when he opted for the touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Things a lot different than the last time they were on the field. Remember, they threw the interception, gave up the touchdown, and now trailing 7-0 and looking for a response. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. Finding room at midfield. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. They run it with James. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. From the 41, Vick. This is Casper catching it out right. But he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line. On the ground, it's James. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Stop made there by Julius Peppers.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The throw on 2nd down from Vick, incomplete.
And that drop will cause a little bit of angst for the play caller because you know they've worked all week game planning and flexing the tight end out and making him a matchup issue for the defense. They had what they wanted, and he drops the ball.
Yeah, just couldn't hang on to the slant. On 3rd down, Vick. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up fourth down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now Justin Tucker's out to try to field goal. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Well, still trailing here, but they do get the late field goal. Now their defense will try to keep this score right where it is heading into the locker room.
Yeah, and trailing into break, you obviously don't want to go in off of a negative play. Give them credit for that one. Finding a way to put points on the board, give them any type of a spark, anything to build off of as they try to plan a comeback.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. We'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Pushes past him, and he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Able to hit on a big play right there in the 2-minute drill. Now they've got a chance to use all the remaining clock and build on their lead right before halftime.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Here's Peyton up the middle. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Okay, break.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find a completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try to get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Looking to throw on second down. Culpepper toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Harold Carmichael in the final seconds of the first half. And they are able to add on to their advantage. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Now before they can try the extra point, a flag comes out, and they're going to get tagged for a delay of game. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Now for 5 yards further back, this becomes a 37-yard extra point attempt. this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Ready for the second half. 14-3 our scores. We are back underway on EA Sports. Certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here.